Now, I've been self-employed for the past 8 years in the creative industry, and over the pandemic, I took an office job and oh boy, I could not believe the difference. However, I did leave and I actually started some new business ventures. So today we'll be exploring the question of, should I leave my corporate job to start a business? Hey, I'm Nazerene and this channel is all about creative entrepreneurship. Now, the first thing I have to say about this is I think it's important to really speak to the people around you, get some advice, get some professional help if you need to before you make such a big decision. So let's get it. First up, I think it's great that you're thinking about starting up your own business, that you've got something that you feel like you can offer to those around you that will be of good value. But there are some questions to ask yourself before you dive straight in. And the first question to ask yourself is entrepreneurship for me? Entrepreneurship is not for everyone, and that's okay. At the moment, there are so many people talking about being business owners, and we hear and we see all these success stories, but we don't always hear about the people that it doesn't work out for. Maybe actually a career change is more suitable, where you can switch up the elements of your job that you're not happy with, and maybe get some leadership, some management and some creative experience before jumping into owning your own business. To be a business owner, you need to be so self-disciplined and driven. You need to make connections, build a team, manage people, have responsibility for troubleshooting all of the problems that arrive, be super self-motivated, have a really strong work ethic. And I think for anything in life, there's these three components that I think it can slot into. There's confidence, competence, and attitude. Now, you can have competence, as in you know a lot about what you do, you have skill and knowledge in that thing, in that area, and you can have a great attitude. But if you lack the confidence, you're gonna have to work really hard to push yourself to believe in what you're doing. Now, you can have a great attitude, as in you work really well, you work well with people, you have a strong work ethic, and you can have confidence. But if you lack the competence, the knowledge and the skill in your area, then you might make costly mistakes that might actually tarnish your reputation. And lastly, if you have confidence, you really believe in yourself, and you have competence, you're really good at what you do, but you have a bad attitude, then no one's going to want to work with you. So out of those three, think about which areas you might need to work on the most and try and find people to support you in those areas. See if you can get any extra training from online courses or from part-time courses as well. The second thing to ask yourself is, how can I validate my idea? Validating your idea first is really important. There's no point making this huge decision of leaving your job if you haven't even seen any results yet. And that is really risky and actually puts a lot of pressure on you. Don't just test your ideas or your products with family and friends, because obviously they want the best for you, they love you, and they're probably going to give you really good feedback. Think about how can you get your product or your service into the hands of real people. Think about what's best for your business. Is there a place that you can go to test that with the general public? Can you speak to them, see what's missing or what you can improve on? Is there an online marketplace that you can sell this thing, this product or service, to see what kind of demand there is and whether your skill level and what you have to offer can actually compete with what's out there? If you work in the digital space, places like Fiverr, Upwork and People Per Hour are actually really good places to start to see if you can actually book work online and get a client. When you have some validation that your idea or your skill level is being able to compete with those other things on the market, that confidence will really help you keep pushing forward. It's sort of like saying, I'm just going to swim across the English Channel, and with all this hard work and grit and determination, I will get there. Put in the prep work, you would test out your ideas, you would go to the gym, you would get fit. So use this time to test your idea. The next question to ask yourself is, can I work part-time? And this kind of goes in hand with the first point. If you can work part-time, then hopefully you can have some more time to test your ideas and to get out there and see if your product is viable. And hopefully as things start to go well and hopefully you see a demand and an increase in some money coming in, you can cut back on those hours. Can you work from home, and maybe the hours that you would have spent commuting, you can actually redirect that time and that energy into working on your business that you would have lost traveling? Personally, I think any way that you can try and make a gradual change to leaving your job would be better. Otherwise, it's so much pressure to try and make things work. Stress is not good for you. It really isn't. And the pressure, especially the financial pressure, is real if you can't make up that money through your business. It sucks out all the joy and all of the life out of you. So do yourself a favor and see if you can reduce your hours. An alternative to that, if you can't reduce your hours, is to try and find a side hustle that can bring in money each month. And then another point to that is also to have some kind of emergency fund. I think 6 months at the very, very least. It will take time for things to build up. You can't expect to just quit your job and within 3 months be making more than your salary. That's not always the case, unless you have done the first point of testing your idea. Think about, how can I support myself and make adjustments for this new business venture? The next question to ask yourself is, am I ready for a lifestyle change? Can you really give up the benefits of your job? Think about what you have at the moment. Are you really willing to give them up? You have guaranteed money every month. That's huge, especially because at the beginning of a business venture, it's not guaranteed that you're going to get paid. Think about it. You have sick pay, annual leave, maybe compassionate leave. You can maybe take a mental health day. You might have a team or a department. There's structure, people that you can speak to every day. You won't have those things if you decide to start your own business. If you go part-time or find a side hustle job, your disposable income is going to be less, and you're going to have to adjust your lifestyle in balance of trying to achieve your goals. You may not be able to eat out as much or go on holiday or have the subscriptions that you have, unless you're rolling in it, then I know you're fine, I guess. There's nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, so really weigh up what you're willing to give up. The next question to ask yourself before leaving your job is, what connections do I have? The connections that you have available because of your company helps with business. You've built up rapport and trust with clients and with people. When you start your own business, you're on your own. You have to do all of that yourself. What contacts and links do you have? Do you have a network of people to help you get started in the field that you're going into? If not, then that's extra time that you're going to have to spend building up and developing those relationships. The next question is, how can I scale this business? Think about how you will scale if things really go well and begin to take off, which is fantastic, by the way. But if you can't manage all of the orders of all of the services that you need to offer, try and find a way so that you don't have to then turn down clients or customers because you can't keep up with the workflow. Have some kind of plan about how you might expand and bring on other team members in the future. I think the caveat to that, though, is not expanding too quickly. If you hire people too soon, there might not be enough work for them to be getting on with. And remember that those people are going to be reliant on you for their income. So try and get that fine line, that sweet spot between being able to manage stuff, but then having enough to actually delegate to other people to do. You can always start small and then scale up incrementally. The next thing to ask yourself is, what kind of paperwork do I need? Are you going to set up as a sole trader or as a limited company? Setting up as a sole trader is actually quite easy. However, your personal assets will be on the line if you get into any financial difficulty. With a limited company, it's different in that the company's assets and your personal assets, they are separate entities, they're different things, and so the liability there is limited, so they won't come after your house or your car or whatever else you have that's fancy. So look into what's right for you on the .gov website that has all the information about which one is right for you. So go and have a look at that information and make your decision. Depending on your business, you could perhaps start off as a sole trader and then incorporate your company as things start to develop and get bigger. So think about your business and how much can you realistically do on your own before you need to start hiring other people. The next question is, Do you have a marketing strategy? You can have a great product, a fantastic service, but if no one knows who you are, you're going to struggle to get new client leads and develop a profitable business. Do you have a website, a logo, a presence on social media, testimonials, a portfolio to show your work and your trustworthiness and what you can deliver? Setting up a website and creating a marketing campaign takes time, but also takes money as well. So make sure you have some kind of plan to launch as well, so that you can come in and make a bit of a... So make sure that you have a bit of a plan before you jump into that. If you found this video helpful, then in this video, I talk about business fundamentals for creative entrepreneurs, which will help you get your plans to leave your job in the best shape possible. So do check that out and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.